How can one valley trap hot air like a sealed pot? And why do some places feel like an oven even when the sun goes down? From 134 degrees desert to Earth leaking boiling brine. Today, we're ranking the hottest places on Earth. Welcome to Lost Beyond the Map. Picture a desert that looks unreal. Endless dunes, deep color, and a sky that almost never blinks. This is Sossusvlei. Sitting in a hot desert climate and one of the sunniest places around, Sossusvlei has 300 sunny days a year. Now add the second ingredient, it's extremely dry. It gets only about 2.8 to 4.1 inches of rain a year. With so little moisture in the air, there's less to soften the sun's impact. Even the humidity can drop low, down near 27.2% in May, so the sun hits hard, and the land heats fast. On paper, the average highs can sound manageable, but it's the spikes that cause problems. In peak months, daily highs push into the low to mid-90s degrees Fahrenheit, and it's common to cross 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The documented record high sits at 105.7 degrees Fahrenheit. Sossusvlei feels different from the places we'll visit later. The temperature can swing hard. Nights can turn chilly, and in winter months, it can even drop below freezing. It's like the desert flips a switch when the sun disappears. The dunes are proof of the heat over time. Many dunes rise over 200 meters, and one, nicknamed Big Daddy, reaches about 325 meters high. Their orange-red color comes from iron oxidation over millions of years. The deeper the red, the older the dune. Life here gets creative. The Namib desert beetle uses fog basking, collecting water from morning fog on its back. Even the name feels like a warning. Sossusvlei roughly translates to dead-end marsh, a drainage basin with no outflow. This is the warm-up on our list. Still punishing, still bright. But compared to what's coming, this is the last place where the night can feel like mercy. Because next, we leave the dunes and head to a desert capital where the heat doesn't just come from the sun, it comes from the city itself. If Sossusvlei is a furnace you can step out of at night, imagine a furnace with no escape. This is Riyadh. Riyadh sits deep in the Arabian Desert on the Najd Plateau in the center of the Nafud Desert. No ocean nearby to soften the edges, just land that heats fast and stays hot. And the sun doesn't take days off here. From May to August, Riyadh hits its brightest stretch, and in June, the average daily solar energy peaks at 8.2 kilowatt-hours per square meter. Even in September, the sky is clear or partly cloudy 87% of the time. So the city gets hammered by sunlight almost at a constant. Riyadh's heat is the dry kind, sharp, direct, and relentless. The hot season runs about 4 months, from May 14th to September 24th, with average highs above 102 degrees Fahrenheit. July is the peak, an average high of 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And when it really spikes, recorded temperatures have reached 120 degrees Fahrenheit. It can feel more bearable than coastal heat because humidity is often in the low teens or even single digits, and the mugginess factor stays basically 0% all year. Your sweat can evaporate, but that doesn't mean you're safe, just that the heat hits you differently. Riyadh has a summer survival ritual. Many residents leave the city for the entire summer, because on the worst days, the heat doesn't just cook the streets, it invades normal life. During peak summer, it can be impossible to get cool water from the tap. Not because the pipes are broken, because many homes store water in tanks on the roof, sitting unshaded under direct sun. You turn the cold handle, and the desert answers back. When the air gets even drier, it can kick up massive dust storms, dropping visibility to under 10 meters, sometimes canceling hundreds of flights. But Riyadh is still the dry kind of brutal. Next, the heat keeps the same strength and gains a new weapon: humidity. Riyadh was a dry blast furnace. This place is different. It adds moisture. And suddenly the heat doesn't just hit you, it sticks to you. This is Dubai. Dubai sits near the Tropic of Cancer, so at certain times of the year, the sun is almost straight overhead, direct and intense. It also lies under a subtropical high-pressure belt, which helps suppress clouds. Less cloud cover means more hours of sunlight blasting the ground, and the landscape is classic hot desert. Sand, minimal vegetation, very little natural shade. The land absorbs heat and throws it right back, creating oven-like conditions. But Dubai's issue is the water. Dubai sits near the Persian Gulf. The sea feeds humidity into the air through evaporation. In summer, hot and humid sea breezes blow inland, and the heat index can get wild. The air might be 109 degrees Fahrenheit, but the humidity can make it feel like 143 degrees Fahrenheit. So the danger isn't just the heat, it's that your body's main cooling system, sweat, starts to fail. The city can occasionally hit wet bulb temperatures over 95 degrees Fahrenheit, where humidity prevents sweat from evaporating well enough for the body to cool itself naturally. And then there's the man-made heat. Dubai's rapid growth creates an urban heat island where asphalt and buildings soak up heat all day and struggle to release it at night, plus waste heat from traffic and millions of air conditioners. Dubai has turned cooling into infrastructure, air-conditioned bus shelters because in peak heat, shade isn't comfort, it's survival. And here's a detail that flips expectations. The desert can feel 7 to 10 degrees cooler than the city in the evenings, because it's much less humid away from the coast. So you can have this strange moment where the sand feels like relief and the city feels heavier. The next stop takes this exact problem and pushes it even further until the air feels less like weather and more like a wall you walk into. Dubai was heat with humidity. This place is when that combo turns oppressive, like the air is holding you down. This is Doha. Doha sits on a desert peninsula in the Persian Gulf with a subtropical desert climate. Intense solar radiation hits hard for months. June is the brightest month, averaging 7.9 kilowatt hours of shortwave solar energy per square meter. The Gulf feeds the atmosphere with moisture. In late summer, dew points can climb above 86 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a fancy way of saying the air is already loaded with water. And when there's barely any rain, only about 2.95 inches per year, you lose that natural, evaporative cooling other climates get. The hot season lasts over 4 months, from mid-May to late September, with average highs staying above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. July is the peak, averaging 106 degrees Fahrenheit, and temperatures regularly reach 113 degrees Fahrenheit, sometimes pushing toward 122 degrees Fahrenheit in heat waves. Then there's the wind that sounds like it should help, but doesn't. In June and July, Doha gets hit by the Shamal, a hot, dry, northwesterly wind that can reach 30 miles per hour, often bringing dust and sandstorms instead of relief. Before modern AC, people engineered the city for survival. Thick limestone walls, up to 0.6 meters wide, plus wind catchers and open courtyards to pull breezes through. Today, coping often becomes one strategy: avoidance. People move between air-conditioned homes, cars, and malls. Some shops even close during the hottest hours and reopen at night. And if you want a single number that sums up Doha's ceiling, the highest temperature ever recorded in Qatar was 122.7 degrees Fahrenheit, set in Doha on July 14, 2010. But Doha is just the start of Gulf humidity turning heat into something you can't escape. Next, we go to a city where the sea itself heats up like a bathtub, and the air feels even heavier. Doha feels like you're wearing the heat. But this next place has seas unimaginably hot. This is Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi sits in a hot desert climate, and the Tropic of Cancer passes directly through the emirate. So the sun hits with at an unfair angle, and it just keeps coming. The city gets sunshine for roughly 350 days a year. In June, solar energy peaks at about 7.8 kilowatt hours per square meter, and in May, sunshine duration reaches 371 to 372 hours. But what really turns unbearable is the coastline. The Persian Gulf warms up in summer to around 95 degrees Fahrenheit, nicknamed the largest bathtub in the world. That warm water evaporates into the air, and now the heat has nowhere to go. This is the kind of heat where your body's cooling system gets jammed. When humidity climbs, sweat doesn't evaporate well, so the feels-like temperature can soar far beyond the real air temperature. The hot season runs from mid-May to late September, with average highs above 98 degrees Fahrenheit. Then, July and August arrive, and daily maximums consistently average above 104 degrees, with extremes reaching 120 degrees, and the record high is even more brutal at 122 degrees. On top of that, the UV index hits extreme 11 to 13 between March and August. The sun is not only bright but aggressive. Locals even have a nickname for September, Sweat-tember, because the temperature dips a bit, but the humidity can peak, making it feel worse than midsummer. Rain is so rare that in 2018 the city logged only 6 days of rain, and when it happens, people celebrate by literally cruising through the rain in their cars. And long before oil, pearl divers worked these waters in peak heat, making up to 50 deep dives a day without mechanical breathing equipment. Let's now step into a city surrounded by hills where hot winds drops in, where temperatures can surge past 122 degrees Fahrenheit, and even the year-round averages are shockingly high. The largest desert in the world, an entire continent-sized system designed to break you down. This is the Sahara Desert. The Sahara covers about 3.6 million square miles, roughly the size of the United States. The reason it bakes is what sits above it, a permanent belt of high pressure under the subtropical ridge, where air sinks, warms, and dries out, meaning clouds struggle to form. No clouds means one thing: the sun hits the ground, unblocked and exposed. Some parts of the Sahara get over 3,600 hours of bright sunshine each year. In the eastern desert, it can reach 4,300 hours, nearly 98% of all possible daylight hours. Then, the desert stacks the deck. Extremely low humidity, almost no vegetation, no shade, no natural air conditioning from plants. Even mountains help the heat win. The Atlas Mountains create a rain shadow, trapping moisture on the windward side and keeping the northern Sahara extra dry. People imagine endless sand, but only about 25% of the Sahara is actually sand dunes. The rest is rocky plateaus, gravel plains, and mountains. And that matters, because dark rock and sand absorb heat hard. That's how ground temperatures have been recorded as high 182 degrees Fahrenheit. In summer, daytime highs regularly exceed 122, but this desert doesn't hold heat. With dry air and clear skies, night can drop fast, down to 22 degrees or near freezing in winter months. So the Sahara isn't just hot, it's extreme on both ends. Life here is scarce. The Saharan silver ant is so adapted to heat that it only leaves its nest for 10 minutes a day, basically sprinting through the danger window before it gets cooked. And the desert isn't isolated. Its strongest wind, the Harmattan, can carry Saharan dust all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. This heat machine doesn't just dominate its own land, it reaches outward. Next, we leave the desert and go back to the city, a city where geography, desert winds, and concrete stack the heat so high that one station recorded 129.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Dead birds fall from the sky, and sea life is found boiled on the bay. This is Kuwait City. Here the sun can hit at a near vertical angle for much of the year. Kuwait is engulfed by the Arabian Desert, with dry soil and very little greenery, so the ground acts like a giant solar panel, soaking up heat and radiating it back. Rain barely shows up, less than 120 millimeters per year, so there's almost nothing to cool the surface or soften the sun. The city can be hit by a seasonal Indian depression that spreads extreme heat across the region. Plus, the Shamal wind blows in June and July, carrying hot, dry air and sand right into the streets. Summer frequently pushes above 122 degrees Fahrenheit. The number that made Kuwait City infamous was on July 21, 2016. The Mitriba station recorded 129.2 degrees, one of the highest temperatures ever measured on Earth, and the highest in Asia. Even when the air is only around 122, the ground can hit 158. The ground heating to that level becomes extremely hazardous. The city itself can make it worse. Kuwait City's dense buildings and asphalt create an urban heat island, materials that absorb heat all day and release it slowly at night, keeping the city warmer even after sunset. And the heat leaks into everyday life. The sun can warm pipes so much that even the cold tap runs toasty. The source also describes extreme ripple effects, reports of birds falling dead from the sky, and sea life in the bay being found boiled or steamed during peak heat waves. In summer, many locals take long getaways, leaving roads unusually quiet, and to reduce exposure, the government has even allowed funerals at night during the hottest months. And somehow, the next place is even more extreme, because it isn't just heated by the sun, it's heated from below by magma, where springs erupt as boiling brine measures up to 234 degrees Fahrenheit. If Kuwait City felt like the sun was attacking the surface, here the planet attacks from under your feet. This is Dalal. In the Afar Triangle, where tectonic plates are pulling apart, the Earth's crust is ripped open and leaves something terrifyingly close to the surface. A shallow magma reservoir about 1.5 miles down. So the ground isn't just warmed by sunlight, it's heated like a stovetop. Dalal sits in the Danakil Depression, about 125 meters below sea level. That basin traps heavy hot air so it can't circulate and cool easily. This isn't a place that cools off at night. It holds the record for the highest average annual temperature of an inhabited location, about 94 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. In summer, daytime highs routinely reach 113 degrees and have been recorded as high as 131. Even the low is brutal at around 87. Add humidity around 60% and the sun feels like it's pressing down on your shoulders. But the scariest part isn't the air, it's liquid. Groundwater seeps down, gets superheated by magma, and blasts back up as boiling brine, a high concentration solution of salt in water, measured at 226 degrees to 234. The pools can be so acidic their pH is near zero, and some researchers have found certain ponds may be completely sterile, no DNA, no traces of life, while others report tiny microbes. That's why Dalal is called Mars on Earth. The colors are real, but they come from inorganic minerals, not bacteria. Even the name fits. Dalal translates to dissolution or disintegration. Now, for the final place. Somewhere the landscape traps heat so intensely it produced the highest air temperature ever recorded on this planet. In Dalal, the earth boils from below, but here the sky and the land work together to trap you inside inescapable heat. This is Death Valley. This desert's secret is its shape. At the bottom is Badwater Basin, the lowest point in North America, 282 feet below sea level. And the valley is a long, narrow bowl, walled in by steep mountain ranges like the Panamint and Amargosa. So here's what happens. Extremely hot air gets trapped. It rises, cools slightly, can't clear the peaks, and drops back down. As it sinks, it compresses under higher pressure at that low elevation and heats up even more. It's a loop, a reheating cycle, like a giant convection oven. Then the dryness makes it worse. Moisture from the Pacific has to cross 4 mountain barriers, including the Sierra Nevada, losing water each time, so the air that reaches the valley is bone dry. Death Valley averages less than 2 inches of rain per year, making it the driest place in North America. The highest ambient air temperature ever recorded on Earth was measured here. 134 degrees Fahrenheit at Furnace Creek on July 10, 1913. But the ground gets even more vicious. The highest surface temperature recorded was 201.0 degrees on July 15, 1972, just 11 degrees below boiling water. And it doesn't cool off the way you want. Overnight lows can still sit at 110 degrees, meaning the night doesn't reset your body. In 2001, the valley logged 154 consecutive days at 100 degrees or higher. This place looks dead, but it isn't. These were the hottest places on planet Earth. Click the video on screen now and experience a land of contrasts where ancient traditions coexist with cutting-edge technology. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe for more Lost Beyond the Map.